All right, welcome to Front Office Football with my co-host Nathan Potter. I'm Keith Potter, and today we are doing episode 3 of 4, where we break down each team's draft needs.
Yep.
Getting ready for the draft. We've done the South.
The North.
Yep. NFC, AFC North, AFC, NFC South. Today we are doing the
West.
West. So
AFC, NFC West.
we will save the best for last, the East, where the Cowboys live.
Absolutely.
If you follow along, you know that we are Cowboys fans. All right. Are you okay if we go with NFC West and we will do the Cardinals first?
Yep, I'm cool with that.
All right. I've got a lot on my note sheet. I'm curious to know where you're going to go. I don't really want to talk about quarterback.
Yeah. I was going to say the same. Quarterback is obviously the most important need, but
I can tell you the Arizona defense ranked 27th in yards allowed.
Yep.
Per Fox Sports, 357 yards per game. They struggled to get off the field, ranked 23rd in the league.
That's true.
By allowing 43% on third down conversions. Yikes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of defense, of play.
You know where I think they could improve in that area? Adding an edge rusher.
Ah, okay.
So that's where I'm going for their first biggest need. They have Josh Sweat, admittedly. He had 12 sacks this year. That's a good number. But the next highest number of sacks that they had on their team, you know what it was?
4.
2.
Eesh.
Yeah. So you got Josh Sweat.
4 more than me, but yeah.
Yeah. But you don't got anything other really than Josh Sweat. So I think if you get a good edge rusher maybe in the draft, or if you pick up another guy like Joey Bosa.
Pick number 3?
They do have pick number 3. That's true. But I think they actually might go right tackle at pick number 3. Just because, Francis Maui-Noah from Miami will be on the board at that point.
Okay.
They do need right tackle, preparing that offensive line for their future quarterback.
You think David Bailey is too early to take in pick 3?
No, definitely not. I do think he's the best pure edge rusher in the draft, but I think there's a lot of good edge rushers in the draft. That's why I think, despite him being the best in my opinion, I think they can wait until round 2, which they have pick 34 at. Round 2, pick 34.
34 and then 65 in round 3.
Yeah, so I think a guy that I'm super high on out of Oklahoma, R. Mason Thomas.
Okay.
They could probably get it pick 34. And, I mean, he's a phenomenal player. So
They did struggle in pass protection.
That's true.
And in the ground game last year, finishing second fewest rushing yards in the division.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's 4 teams in the division, second fewest. So you're third, but
yeah,
still need a little work. I get you.
It's true. And I think they did actually address their running back room decently by adding Tyler Algier from the Falcons. I think it sucked that he was sitting behind Bijan Robinson, just because I think he's a good running back.
Agreed.
So I think he will do good in Arizona. I think they have a fine start to their offensive line with Paris Johnson at left tackle and Isaac Suamaleao at left guard. I think that's a good start. Then I think if they add a good right tackle like Francis Maui-Noah out of Miami to that list at pick 3, I think that's a really good start.
Okay. I mean, they're probably still going to finish last in their division.
Well, probably.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta be on the bottom to get to the top.
True.
All right. I think that's enough time on the Arizona Cardinals. Los Angeles Rams, are you okay moving to there?
Let's move to the Los Angeles Rams.
They have the number 13 pick via Atlanta.
Yep.
And then they've got a round 2 and a round 3.
Yep. They used to have pick 29.
Used to.
Which they traded for their previous biggest need, cornerback.
Okay.
So cornerback is not their biggest need anymore because they have Trent McDuffie.
Check the box off.
The box off. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going middle linebacker for me.
Well, I did not have anything remotely close to middle linebacker.
Really?
No.
What'd you have?
Wide receiver.
Okay. Yeah. Wide receiver is
outside of Puka.
Devontae Adams.
No, yeah.
I like 15 touchdowns or something this year. But to be fair, their wide receiver 3 right now, Conta Mumfield.
So he was a touchdown machine, agreed. But I think he had less than 800 receiving yards.
Probably. Let's take a look. Yeah, 789. Yeah, he had 789 yards, but yeah, 14 touchdowns. So red zone
Machine.
And so yeah, I do think wide receiver could be a direction they go at that pick 13. Maybe if like a Mekhi Lemon is there.
That's who I've got on my list.
Yeah.
15.3 yards per catch. They need somebody to help Puka catch the ball down the field.
Yeah, I have heard of some character concerns from around the combine area, but I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue come draft day.
Okay.
But yeah, I think middle linebacker.
But you were going linebacker.
I'm going linebacker, yeah, because right now Nate Landman, their current one of their inside linebackers, I think he's a great linebacker. He was a very, very good tackler this year. 169 total tackles. So very good on that side. But then just on the other side of that interior linebacker core, you don't really have much. Omar Spites is the guy that you have next. He had 82 total this year. So it's fine, but that's like a rookie number. 82 total is not where you want to be as starting linebacker, especially when you have such strong of a defense that the Rams have.
Okay. You've schooled me in this one. I did not have linebacker in any way, shape, or form on here. Not to say that you're not right. I just was not looking that way.
Yeah.
Real quick on the Rams, everybody's been pressing quarterback. Interested this year, or you just keep kicking the can down a little?
You could go the direction of quarterback at some point, maybe in like the third round or something. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the biggest need.
Maybe wait for next year when there's a little more
maybe wait
quarterback
for next
depth.
Year. I mean, if Ty Simpson is there in the second round, I don't see a situation where it would be unintelligent to go with Ty Simpson.
Okay.
But I think the quarterbacks next year will be pretty good and good enough to replace Matthew Stafford with a year or two under their belt.
Okay. I like it. All right. I learned something new today. San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
Shout out to my boy Tony. Played golf with him today. Big San Francisco 49ers fan. I asked him what he wanted the draft to look like for them, so I'm curious to know where you go. What you got?
I'm going with the interior of their offensive line.
Okay.
What about you?
I had offensive line as well. It was more of a second half of the year where their pressure rate kind of went a little bit north.
Yeah.
They looked good in the beginning of the year, but offensive kind of surrendering. It was about 34% pressure rate.
Yeah.
But it was mostly coming in the backside, which is not a good sign, right? You're hoping you get better as the year goes on, not worse as the year goes on. I also had wide receiver.
Wide receiver could definitely be a option for them. They just signed Mike Evans.
They did. That's huge.
I could see him fitting into actually a wide receiver 2 role on the Niners, letting Ricky Pearsall fully develop into that wide receiver 1 that the Niners can have him at.
Okay.
And then if they want to, their draft pick is, I think, in a good position to get a wide receiver, back end of the first round.
27.
Yeah, maybe if like a Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana falls to them. I think that would be a pretty good pickup for them.
Who do you like on the offensive line? Where you going? Who you like there? I'm gonna throw a name out. You tell me if I'm tracking.
Okay.
Travis Burke.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going a little bit higher on the draft board. Someone like an Emmanuel Pregnon out of Oregon, or I think Jake Slaughter is also, a center is also a big need. So Jake Slaughter out of Florida, I think could be.
I like Slaughter out of Florida.
Yeah,
I think he
like
could be there at 27.
Yeah, but I don't think he's worth 27 though. Jake Slaughter. I think 27 might be a little bit too high for a center. But I think maybe like a round 2, round 3 pick is also good, because there's some good centers in this draft. Sam Hecht out of Kansas State, Connor Liu out of Auburn. So I think there are some good centers in this draft class. So Slaughter was more of just a name to throw out to recognize that center is a need.
Okay. Why did you dump all over my Travis Burke?
I didn't dump all over your Travis Burke. I think he can be a good player.
Just not 27.
Yeah, just
That's
not.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
So my boy Tony, he said defense. He
yeah,
felt their defense was just very inconsistent.
it was inconsistent.
Maybe linebacker.
Linebacker could be a option. They did just sign Dre Greenlaw after he was released surprisingly from Denver. He did have like an off year.
Still,
I guess
he's
they just
proven.
didn't like what he did that year for the money that they were giving him. But I think he's still a fine starter. Pairing him back up with Fred Warner, I think they're probably going to make
Yes.
some noise this year. But I I will like to reinstate that I did not dump all over Travis Burke. I like Travis Burke out of Memphis.
Fair.
I do like Travis Burke. He's more of a tackle. I mean, he's
Correct.
a clear tackle, 6'9". So
Yeah, it screams tackle.
it does scream tackle, but I feel like that's only really if they let go of Trent Williams.
Who knows what's going on in that
They haven't
world?
let go of him yet, but there's been some rumors that they might just because of the money tied up in him.
They pretty much said we're not paying you that.
Yeah. But yeah, as of right now, I think it's probably got to be the interior offensive line or, like you said, wide receiver.
Yeah. We talked about this last week, not to go down a hole here, but he's such a good player. Like, how do you? I know he's getting paid a lot of money, but he's just those old school, beat the heck out of you
Yeah.
linemen. Like, great technique, great strength, great leverage.
One of the best all time.
Yeah. Like,
But I mean, Mike Evans was arguably, great technique, consistent, probably one of the better wide receivers all time on Tampa. But they still let him walk. They didn't release him like they might have to for Trent Williams, but they didn't re-sign him.
okay. Anything else on San Francisco?
I do not believe so.
All right. Super Bowl champs.
Super Bowl champs. Pick 32, Seattle Seahawks.
Yep. One in round one, one in round two, one in round three. I think that's all they have. Right? They only have a couple picks this year, I believe.
I believe so, yeah.
Scooting through my notes,
Yeah.
I remember seeing they either only have three or four.
I think 4.
Four total.
Something like that, yeah.
They've lost. I mean, like any Super Bowl champion team, like it's fire sale, and it's not. I don't mean fire sale, but everybody's just like getting paid.
Yeah.
Like, let me go to get paid. If
Yeah.
I'm a free agent, I'm gonna go get paid.
And I think where they got hit the hardest there was their secondary.
Yep, I got cornerback.
Yeah, cornerback, safety. They still got Devon Witherspoon, who I think is good. I think Josh Jobe is still good, but that's about it. Those are the same thing with the Bears that we talked about last week. Like, they've got 2 good cornerbacks, but they've only got 2 good cornerbacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they definitely need to add depth there, and then they also need to add some depth at safety. So mainly just defensive back in general is where I think they need to go.
Can I give you a stat that you're going to be like, that's a wrong stat, Keith, and you're allowing your research to steer you in a wrong direction?
I will, yes.
Run game. They were 39% stuffed rate, means runs for 0 or negative yards between the guards. Worst in the NFC West.
Yeah, and I think that is mainly to do with
I mean, they cleaned it up behind them.
they did, but I don't like to blame stuff on one person specifically. I think it's really unfair because they're a professional, I couldn't do what they're doing. But there were times during the season that I just put my hands in my face in my palm watching Anthony Bradford play football. I mean, he is so bipolar with his game. There's plays where they're playing the Panthers and he's putting, Derek Brown in the grass. That's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. And then there's plays when he's, going to block a cornerback and he gets his ankles broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So sorry, I went off on a little sidetrack there with that stat, but you started this with cornerback,
yeah.
and I'd like to know who you're eyeing coming out in the draft at cornerback in position 32 in round 1.
Well, I don't think it's just me that's eyeing him. Right now, it's everybody that's eyeing Colton Hood out of Tennessee at 32. I mean, he's just he's the perfect fit. I mean, he's probably the third best cornerback in this draft class, third or fourth. He will fall
Who's
to
above
32.
him?
Above him? Mansour Delane, Jermon McCoy, if his health stuff checks out, and then probably Avian Terrell out of Clemson, I would probably say.
You think he'll be gone by then?
Who, Avian Terrell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think he'll probably go to a team like the Vikings maybe.
Okay.
But I mean, Colton Hood played very well in the absence of Jermon McCoy in 2025. He only allowed 318 yards, only 1 touchdown. He did only have 1 interception, but I don't really hold interception numbers to cornerbacks that much. It's not your job to make interceptions. It's your job to just make sure that the guy isn't making, the play, which is also apparent with only a 70 passer rating allowed.
Yeah, Glove City.
When targeted. And then the year before that, a 50 passer rating when targeted. So I think he'd be the perfect fit in Seattle if they decide to not go with Colton Hood at pick 32 and they decide to go with cornerback a little bit later on, maybe in like round 3, because I think there are a lot of good cornerbacks. I've been eyeing Traden Stukes out of Arizona. Man.
Not sure if I'm following that guy.
And I wouldn't blame you. I feel like he's been flying a little bit under the radar.
Okay.
But I've come to really like him.
Why?
213 yards allowed. 0 touchdowns allowed. I know I just said I don't look at interceptions a lot, but he did have 4 interceptions. And a 35 passer rating.
Wow.
Yeah.
What school again?
Arizona.
Okay.
Wildcats.
Yeah.
So I think there are a lot of good directions that Seattle can go at the cornerback position. And I think cornerback is where they need to go.
All right. That wraps up the
NFC side.
NFC side. If you've watched the first 2 episodes, we always feel like there's like a theme, like offensive line, linebacker. Not really seeing a theme here.
No theme here. I had Niners with the interior offensive line, Cardinals with an edge rusher, Seahawks with a cornerback. You know, that's
yeah, it's a good mix-up.
It's a good mix-up, I'd say.
Yeah.
But now let's move to the AFC side. I think it's time.
You want to pick the team or you want me to pick the team?
Let's go with the Chiefs to start.
We are starting with the Chiefs. You either love them or you hate them. Chiefs, they've got the number 9 pick and the number 29 pick.
Yep, that they
2 picks in the first round.
2 picks in the first round. Yeah, it is unfortunate. I think there is a world where the Chiefs, with those 2 draft picks, actually go with position groups that people would actually be surprised with, just because people might think that, like, oh, they need cornerback, but then with those 2 picks, they get, offensive tackle and wide receiver, And I would be one of those people that's surprised by it because I think their biggest need is cornerback.
That's what I've got. I've got cornerback, and you just said it, offensive tackle.
Yes.
Offensive tackle, Mahomes was pressured when he played, 34% of his dropbacks.
Yep.
Check this out. Forcing him to scramble or throw away the ball at his highest rate of his career.
Yeah. So
interesting. So that's 2, that you said skill positions as well. He's throwing it away. Does he not have the safety blank? Does he not have a trusty skill out there?
I think that could be a reason. Right now his wide receivers are Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Tyquan Thornton. So, I mean, Xavier Worthy, he's, obviously still trying to fit into his shoes. But I do think a good wide receiver 1 could be a direction that they go with either pick 9 or pick 29. I believe those were their draft picks.
Correct, 9 and 29.
But I think something that makes up for that lack of a wide receiver core is the signing of Kenneth Walker. Super Bowl MVP. I mean, how do you let the Chiefs get Kenneth Walker?
We were annoyed when we thought they were going to get Love, right? Everyone's like,
Yeah.
they're going to get Love. How can we let them get Love? He didn't get Love.
Yeah, you don't have to draft a running back now. You can just
Got Walker.
Yeah. I mean, they could still draft a guy maybe at the 2, but I'd rather them not. That's a little bias showing. But, yeah, I think wide receiver could be a direction that they go with pick 29, kind of like what I was saying with, who was I saying? I think I was saying it with the Rams, that maybe if like an Omar
Cooper, yeah.
falls to them at 29, I think that, honest, dude, I would be very disappointed if the league let Mahomes get paired up with Omar Cooper Jr. because I think he's a very good wide receiver.
Who are they taking at 9?
I think if he's there, because I do think there's a realm where the Commanders take him or the Saints take him, but right now I think it's probably Mansour Delane, which sucks because as Cowboys fans, I want Mansour Delane. He's the best cornerback in the draft. He had an insane year at LSU. 30 passer rating, 2 interceptions, only 165 yards allowed. That's just, it's incredible. Less than a 50% completion percentage. And he is just an incredible player, and it would suck if the Chiefs got him. But they do need one. They do need a cornerback just because they traded away Trent McDuffie to free up some of that cap space.
So we talked about cornerback. We talked about wide receiver. You started off a little bit with the offensive tackle.
Yeah, right tackle specifically, I'd say.
Yeah. Do you like anybody offensive tackle maybe at 9, or you think they're going cornerback at 9?
No, I think they're going cornerback at 9. I mean, if Francis Mauigoa was there, I think that would be the pick. But I do think he's probably going.
What about a Blake Miller maybe in the round 2 maybe?
Now that is something that I like. I do like Blake Miller. I've liked Blake Miller since the start of the
out of Clemson.
Out of Clemson since the start of the season. I can go back and take a look at my earliest mock drafts.
He's consistent, meaning there was a stat I pulled up and wanted to throw out because I had him. I wanted to see if you had him. Started 97% of his career reps. Dude doesn't miss a game.
He does not.
Knock on wood. Doesn't miss a game.
Doesn't miss a game, and in 530 pass block snaps, only 2 sacks allowed. And that's
crazy at a tackle.
That's crazy.
Tackle position. That's nuts.
Yeah, that is nuts.
At a tackle.
That would be impressive for a guard.
Yeah.
And especially the competition that he plays against, obviously playing at Clemson. You know, he plays against some pretty good guys, depending on where your fan base lies. But yeah, I do think if he gets there at 2, then yeah, I think Blake Miller could do a lot of damage to other NFC West teams or AFC West teams.
All right, for not huge Kansas City fans, we talked a lot about Kansas City. I think it's time to move on.
Yes.
Where do you want to go?
Let us go to the Chargers. Why not?
Chargers, pick number 22.
Yep.
Round 2 and round 3.
Looking good.
Yeah.
How about you start this time? What do you think?
I think they need a guard.
Definitely.
I like Vega Ione.
I do too. If he gets there.
From Penn State. Yeah, I don't know if he'll make it to 22.
I think there's...
Because we've talked a lot of teams, right, already up at this point.
Yeah, that need
offensive interior line. We just said there were some team themes in some previous episodes. And for him to be sitting at 22, good luck. But, I mean, he's great.
Yeah. I mean, he could go as early as pick 11 to the Dolphins, who do need guard. But if he doesn't go to the Dolphins, he could go to the Rams before he goes to the Chargers. To the Ravens before he goes to the Chargers. He could go to Tampa Bay before he goes to the Chargers. He could go to the Lions before he goes to the Chargers. I just don't think he's not making it past 20. So they definitely do need guard. but unfortunately, it's not going to be Vega Ione.
Anything else that you like that they need outside of the offensive line?
Honestly, there's not much. Nose tackle, defensive tackle in general, I do think it is a position of need. Well, defensive end and defensive tackle, because they run a 3-4.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of rushing yards per game.
They gave up a lot of rushing yards per game last year. They've got Khalil.
You know they were last?
Yeah.
Last.
Wow.
Some people just said the Cowboys were last. We
Yeah,
got better last year.
I did not actually know that the Chargers were last. Thought they were a little bit better than that considering their record. But
Oh, sorry, bottom 5 of the league. My bad.
that's
Thank
still
you
not
for correcting me.
That's still not good. That's still not good. But they've got some good edge rushers.
They do.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack is still good. Tui Puloto,
I wasn't going to say the name or even try.
and I probably butchered it, but he's very good. I really like him. But in terms of defensive end and the nose tackle position and their 3-4 defense, there's not really much there. I mean, their starting nose tackle is Dalvin Tomlinson. He is currently 32 years old. He's he doesn't have that much left.
Yeah.
In the tank, I'd say.
Stuff in the middle is young man's game.
Yeah, and their defensive end, yeah. And their first defensive end, Tyre Tart. There's just not a lot of substance that I'm seeing where you could really have much there on that defensive line. So I think that is what they addressed with their pick 22.
Okay.
It obviously depends on who falls to that point.
I've heard some chatter about maybe a safety.
Safety could definitely be a direction they go. They still have Derwin James, but I do think pairing. I would say more of the direction of a nickel back before a safety.
Okay, I like that.
Kind of like what the Seattle Seahawks did.
Help with the run.
They drafted Nickeman Wari. He was a safety, but they played him more as the nickel, which I do think that they could definitely utilize. But I think if it's not going to be interior offensive line with their pick 22, I do think it is going to be defensive tackle, whether that's Caden McDonald out of Ohio State or it's Caleb Banks out of Florida.
Okay.
I do think that's the direction that they go.
Okay. My turn to pick.
Your turn.
I'm going to save the... Wow, who do I want to save for last? Let's go Broncos.
All right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay. They have no first-round pick.
That is true because they traded it.
Or a round 3 pick.
That is true because they traded it to the Dolphins for Jalen Waddle, which now I believe, I could be wrong on this, but I think I counted earlier today. I believe the Dolphins have 7 picks in just the first 3 rounds.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them.
That's what a rebuild's all about.
Good for them.
Selling your best players.
There's one player I'm hoping to get.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Brooks.
Yes.
I mean,
just let him go already.
Let him
Come
go.
on.
We'll give you pick 112. Just give him.
We'll do that next week. We'll do
that next week.
Yeah. If he's still there.
If he's still, yeah.
All right. So
the Broncos.
So you may laugh at this one.
I won't laugh. I might laugh.
Running back?
I'm not going to laugh out loud, but just know that I am laughing.
Okay.
I don't think it's the direction that they need to go.
Linebacker?
Yeah. I'd say a linebacker. They have I think Alex Singleton in terms of middle linebacker. I think Alex Singleton is still good. They've got Jonathan Cooper and Nick Benito off the edges, so I think that's really good.
Okay.
But I don't think Justin Sternad necessarily should be the face of that interior or of that center of their defense. If the direction that they're going right now, they're looking better and better every year. So I think they really need just a
stiff in the middle a little.
Yeah. So I think a good direction that they might be able to go there. Jake Golday out of Cincinnati. I'm super high on him. He might not make it to them in the round 2. But I think if they don't get Jake Golday, I think maybe a Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas might be the direction they go. I like Anthony Hill Jr. He fell off a little bit, just a little bit.
I feel like you're going to see a bunch of linebackers fly off in the second round.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely
pick pretty high up in the second round, 62.
Mm-hmm. So that's the back end.
Yeah, back end.
But yeah, I think Anthony Hill Jr. could be a really good fit
back
for
end,
them.
not up towards the top. My bad. Back end. Yeah.
Yeah, back end.
But I still think there's going to be a lot of linebackers that go off in the second round.
Yeah, I mean Anthony Hill. He didn't have the most tackles this year, just under 50 tackles, but he was consistent. He only missed 3 tackles. So I think in terms of as a player that he is, I think he's a great player overall. He played 417 snaps in the box, but then in coverage, he had 100 snaps in the slot. That's the kind of versatility that I want.
What about Jacob Rodriguez?
I don't think he falls to that far.
You don't think he goes? Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean, we were talking maybe even the first round.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What? Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I think Alex Singleton, I think just straight pure middle linebacker that he is, kind of like late Nate Landman on the Rams. I think a guy with versatility like Anthony Hill Jr. could be the type of guy that they want on their defense.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I do. Yeah, I absolutely do. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We are on the last team for the West in this segment. We are going to look at the
Raiders.
They have...
Pick one.
I want to move off of that. Like, we all know what they're doing for pick one. Can we move off of pick one?
They do not have a first-round pick. Let's just say that.
Right.
So we could say that their biggest need is quarterback because their quarterback one right now is Aiden O'Connell, but we know what is going to happen. There is going to be a surprise in this draft at pick one. It's Fernando Mendoza, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. So, outside of that, where do you want them to go?
I want them to go with either possibly two opposite ends of the team, safety or wide receiver. I think right now they do not have necessarily a quality starter at the safety position, free or strong. But I think even more than that, I don't think Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, and Jack Betch are a great wide receiver core to be handing over to your future franchise quarterback.
What about interior defensive line?
That could definitely be a direction that they go. They don't have necessarily a quality starter, like I said, with the safety position.
Can I give you a PFF stat?
Give me a PFF stat.
God, I hope this is the right stat out of PFF.
I feel like they usually are. PFF's pretty good with stats.
Raiders don't have a single defensive tackle who earned higher than a 55 grade last season.
Wow.
And they also run a 3-4.
Wow. Well, yeah, wow. That is quite the stat.
I was eyeing Ohio State's Cade McDonald.
That is definitely a possibility.
Too high for him?
No, too low for him.
Think he's gonzo by then?
I think he's the first defensive tackle off the board. I think the highest, he could go as high as pick 16 to the Jets, I'd say.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I guess I was a little gun shy there because we haven't really talked a lot of teams for interior defense.
Yeah, we haven't.
So maybe they get a little lucky, but you're right. It's kind of up there as the top. So
it's just the way that the board falls.
Yeah.
There is a Christian Miller out of Georgia.
Georgia.
He played great last year. He could always be there at their round 2 pick. Lee Hunter, he could also out of Texas Tech, could also be there. I think he's great. Peter Woods.
Okay.
Not necessarily a nose tackle like.
Am I forcing you into an interior defensive, or do
you are not?
Okay.
I agree with your analysis, because kind of like what I was saying about their safety, they currently do not have a quality starter, I'd say, at really any of their 3-4, the 3 and that 4. So the defensive ends and the nose tackle, I don't think they have necessarily good quality starter there. I do like that they signed Kwity Paye to help with that edge rushing from the Colts. They still have Max Crosby on the roster. I don't know what they do with him. Do they keep him? Do they trade him?
Is that a draft day trade?
I feel like that might be the type of thing that's a draft day trade. Yeah, maybe they trade him to move back into the first if there's a guy on the board that they just really want.
I agree.
Because I feel like they signed Kwity Paye because they traded Max Crosby.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. So now, they're already moving down that road. So
yeah. So maybe there's like a situation where I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
That's what we're doing.
You know what?
Throw it out there.
I'm not going to throw it out there anymore because I caught myself. I was going to say the Ravens, but they were the ones that traded for him and then sent him back. I was about to say, the Ravens could really use an edge rusher like Max Crosby.
Like, what was that? I mean, you get there and it's like, hey, what happened to your knee?
And it's like, how do they not know about that?
That's what I mean.
That's the thing. All right, I'm moving down a pick. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers could use an edge rusher like Max Crosby. Maybe if they trade their first round pick and their second round pick, or their first round pick and their first round pick next year to the Raiders, and then they get a guy like Caden McDonald. I think that's a possibility.
Okay.
So yeah, I agree with you. Max Crosby is definitely probably a draft day trade. But as of right now, I think it's probably wide receiver that's their biggest need, because it's just not an impressive.
No, he's gonna need some help for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could even go the direction of trading back into the first round to get a wide receiver that Fernando Mendoza is already comfortable with, and that's, like I've said before twice in this video, Omar Cooper Jr.
Guy's coming up a lot
because he's a good player.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
That is it. That's going to be a wrap for this episode. Next week,
the NFC and AFC East.
Correct. And we may spend a little extra time on the Cowboys.
Possibly.
And very little time on the Giants.
Very little.
Sorry, Giants fans. No, we really appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe. Give feedback. Give comments.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to rip Nate on, or give us some ideas. Make the show better. We're going to do, we think, a mock draft. Yes, like with everybody else. But we will be doing a mock draft, I think, in 2 weeks.
Probably.
Time.
Yep.
We're going to finish up the East next week. And we'll have a plan for, I think, our first mock draft, at least maybe the first round. We'll go team by team. But
yeah.
You got anything you want to add before we sign off?
I don't believe so. I think just stay tuned in.
Stay tuned in. Subscribe. Give feedback. Thanks, everybody.